Hello everybody, a very warm welcome to London for Tottenham Hotspur against Celtic in the Westie TV Charity Cup. A decisive first leg has put Spurs in the lead. Celtic will overturn a 3-goal deficit to return back on top in the tie. Well, this beautiful stadium has seen some historic European nights in the past, but in the Charity Cup there's more and more to play for. Well then, for Spurs, a 4-1 first leg victory has led them here. Thomas Frank picks the exact same lineup as the first leg. Xavi Simons returns from injury, but Vicario, Spence, Van der Ven, Romero Porro, Madison Palhinha, Kulusevski, Simons, Kolomoani and Kudus. Well, in Spurs' last home Charity Cup fixture, they dispatched Bucks FC and are now returning to London to play their games. It's going to be a interesting night for Celtic as they look to claw back this 3-goal deficit which they left after the first leg at Celtic Park. Brendan Rodgers then returns to Spurs with the same lineup again. Schmeichel, Tierney, Scales, Carter-Vicker, Johnston, Hatate, McGregor, Engels, Jota, Dyson Meader and James Forrest up front for Celtic. Well, this is a tie which could be quite crucial in the remainder of this tournament. Of course, the quarter-final, either against Inter Miami or Inter Milan. It could go anywhere for either one of these sides. Celtic then getting us underway here in London. Here's Dyson Meader forward to Jota. Jota on the wing. And the popular chant sung by so many Celtic fans every time Jota does come to the starting 11. Palhinha. Madison. Xavi Simons. Madison. Here's Kudus. Here we go. Here's James Madison. Madison trying to slide it past Schmeichel, but it's out for a corner kick. And not Thomas Frank. First Charity Cup game at home under his new tenure. Well, if he could coach more matches like he did at the Celtic Park leg, then it would be impressive, to say the least. And Kolomoani sends his header high and looping over the bar. It's a free header for Kolomoani nearly. Engels didn't really challenge, but, well, you have to say Spurs are probably one of the best run clubs in the United Kingdom. Of course, after the departure of Daniel Levy a couple of months ago, it has been a big reshuffle in the technical structure at the club. Rumours that it is up for sale. It's not up for sale apparently. With new training facilities and a new stadium in the past 5 years has really raised Tottenham's profile. A big trophy in the Europa League final as well last summer. And here's Celtic now on the ball. Jota played in. Hatate can't get there and Palhinha booted up for Kolomoani. Kudus. Mickey van der Ven. Tall Dutch centre-back, a very towering profile. Here's Kolo Muani. Oh! Hits the crossbar. Kulusevski on the follow-up. Tierney's there. And Schmeichel picks up the ball. But, well, that was speculative. And that was brilliant to try it from there. We have seen some long-range strikes in the Charity Cup already. Francois Colou, Antoine Griezmann. Weston Eze from free kicks. Well, played forward by Engels, but I think he was looking for James Forrest even though he'd been past the ball. Well, Spurs have certainly got a team that's been in transition, especially under Ange Postecoglou. It's been an interesting couple of years under them. And now Thomas Frank picks up a very exciting young team that hopefully he can influence under his coaching experience. And Brøndby in Denmark, and then over to Brentford for so many years. Here's James Maddison in the box. Spence on the edge. Here's Jed Spence. João Paulinho. Maddison to Paulinho again. Kulusevski. Waiting around the edge. Maddison coming to support. Kulusevski has his ball cleared out there by Tierney and behind for a corner. Well, this was Kasper Schmeichel's earlier save, and it was a brilliant save to say the least with his feet. Superb effort and superb work from the Danish keeper. Kulusevski. Here's Kudus. Scored twice in the first leg at Celtic Park. I will say that Celtic have done brilliantly so far to hold off Tottenham. Here's Jota. Engels is free. He took so much. Victorio almost going a bit speculative. Almost like René Higuita back for Colombia back in the day. Well then, half-time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. And well, Kasper Schmeichel with an early save to deny James Maddison an early lead on the night. Half-time here though, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Celtic 0. Here we are then, second half underway. Celtic get us underway once more for 45 minutes more Charity Cup action in this second leg here in London. And well, Celtic already out of the blocks and already looking to make moves already. Here's Callum McGregor. Celtic captain Rio Tate clears away by Cristian Romero. Well, as you saw at half-time, every goal and clean sheet scored in this competition will be donated to Mind. 25p from each goal and each clean sheet kept in this competition will be passed on to Mind. Here's Dyson Meader trying to flick one over Vicario, not quite to be there. Well, 50p from this game tonight, and it was 125 from last time out's first leg in Celtic in Glasgow. So, you can go and donate yourself if you want to and support a fantastic charity cause in mind, mental health in England and Wales. justgiving.com/page/Westie TV for Mind. Go and check it out in the description below. But in the meantime, Tierney gets the ball up. And Johnson's there again. Celtic is got 30 minutes now to try and find 3 goals. 10 goals a minute? Well, it's possible against some of their Scottish opposition. They know how to do it, but it's breaking down the Spurs side, and hot Premier League form is going to be challenging. João Paulinho. Randall Kolo Muani. Back to Spence. Van der Ven into Paulinho. We've had some very tasty ties so far. We've got Napoli, Marseille starting tomorrow. The Second leg, you don't want to miss that. Marseille 1-0 lead. Kolo Muani, oh, good save by Schmeichel. And you've got Atletico Madrid against Paris Saint-Germain on the 3rd of November. Don't miss that. Spence then coming off for Udogie and Balikwisha coming on for Forest. A change each for both sides, and now Tottenham with the corner. Porro. Kulusevski. Whipped in. Kolo Muani at point blank range. And Spurs are 1-0 up on the night. His 3rd Charity Cup goal of the season. And Randall Kolo Muani puts Celtic out of sight of the quarter-final. Unmarked in the area by Scales. Free header for Kolo Muani. And a spot surely in the quarter-finals now. Well, Tottenham fans, mark it in your calendars. 16th of November. You don't want to miss this one. It will be an incredible night of football. Rayo Atate. Balikwisha. Round the back, looking for Jota. Porro. Calls for handball, but none given. 15 more minutes left for Tottenham to play here in London. Kulusevski. Maddison. Destiny Udogie. Looking for Kolo Muani again. Well, one more goal and Kolo Muani will be joint top scorer if my math is correct. On 4 with Omar Marmush and Martin Odegaard. But Spurs free flowing. And I think enjoying the football too. I will say Spurs do have the nicer side of the draw for some of you have been commenting on social media about it. Maddison. Udogie, the Italian left back. Van de Ven. Siemens to Maddison. Paulinho. Pedro Porro. Out on the far side. Kulusevski playing it into Paulinho again. Lovely play from Spurs. Kudus to provide the finishing move, and a corner for Spurs right on the stroke of full time. And Richarlison, Sarr, Bergvoland and more come on. Iheanacho coming on for Rayo Atate too. And I think it's going to be a bit too little too late. Kudus whips it in. Richarlison picks up the ball. We'd only touched the game, but Tottenham put their place in the quarter-finals. Celtic bow out after a valiant effort in the group stages. But it's all too much for them here in the round of 16. Tottenham proceed on then. And a brilliant quarter-final. Awaits them. Tottenham 1, Celtic 0 on the night. 5-1 on aggregate to Tottenham. See you in the quarter-finals.